In this video, I will be talking about games like Elden Ring, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and more. Elden Ring news. Elden Ring has sold 20 million copies worldwide, according to Bandai Namco and Fromsoftware. The companies would like to thank everyone who has played this game from the bottom of their hearts and will continue to develop various ways for the fans to enjoy the world of Elden Ring in the future. Miyazaki. I am preparing several new titles in parallel, but there's nothing I can say here. Bitter smile. I am going to get angry from all quarters, so please look forward to it. Star Wars Jedi Survivor news. Star Wars Jedi Survivor will have 5 stances. 3 saber stances will be available right from the beginning of the game: single blade, double bladed, and dual blade. Dual blade stance. That combat nuance comes in several forms. For one, you are a bit of a glass cannon. You take more damage, but you attack faster and have a wider array of unique combos, some of which require you to pause a beat before continuing the combo. In addition to that, dual blade stance is the only one where you're able to dodge or guard cancel the startup animations of an attack. Other stances have you commit to your attacks very much like you would have to in a game like Dark Souls, where once you press the attack button, you have to wait until your attack animation finishes before you can get out of the way. But in Twin Blade stance, you can rely more on your reflexes and freely get out of the way when danger is incoming. The single blade stance is the all-rounder stance of a Jedi Survivor. It's got medium range and a medium power and a jack of all trades approach to the skills that utilize it. It's relatively fast, so there's not the same amount of commitment to each attack compared to slower stances. You can throw your lightsaber out for a mid-ranged attack, and its special ability is a strong thrusting attack that can be charged to deal heavy stamina damage to single enemies. Like in Fallen Order, the double-bladed stance is the go-to stance for crowd control if there's a large group of weak B1 droids crowding an area. It's never a bad idea to bring out that double blade and start dancing your way through the crowd. It's largely focused on close ranged damage, spread out all around Khal. Its downside is that there is a lot of startup time to its attacks, making it a weapon that you really need to be careful with when putting it to use against faster enemies. Cross guard stance. We wanted the player to feel really powerful, but that there's also a big risk, probably even more so than twin, I would say. You need to understand spacing, because with that stance, we don't artificially push you towards an enemy. It's kind of like a fighting game stance, a little bit. Blaster stance. To be clear, this is still a melee combat game. You won't be sniping Stormtrooper from a distance with the blaster stance. As the Hiras puts it, it's not a shooter obviously, it's like a melee gun. Even though you are shooting from long range, there's a limit to it. We always feed back into that thoughtful combat, and we still want you to hit with the saber. There are now individual skill trees for each lightsaber stance, your force powers, and for flat health and force upgrades. And even the treasure chests that offer cosmetic items have vastly improved rewards due to the fact that you can find entirely different outfits for Carl to wear. as opposed to just different designs of ponchos. In addition to that, you can even find new hairstyles to equip Carl with. My personal favorite so far was a bandana that made him look a little bit like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. In the March 2023 edition of Play magazine, game director Stig Asmussen explained why Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't appearing on last gen consoles. PS5 allows us to create much larger maps with more detail, greater density, broader enemy NPC variety, and overall fidelity. We didn't want to break what we did in the first game. We wanted to evolve, enhance the experience. Don the robes, wield the saber, and holster the blaster inspired by Obi-Wan Kenobi when you pre-order Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Lies of P News. Lies of P will release in August of this year.
Is it not magnificent? This blessing for those who dare seize it. This key to a new paradigm, a new world. This moment to silence the fools forever. This is Ergo.
I just move shit with my freaking mind!